What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and last summer in a landmark decision, 2 parcels of Manhattan Beach property that were wrongfully confiscated from a black family were returned to the Bruce family descendants. Well, yesterday it was announced that the family would sell the Bruce's Beach property back to the county for nearly $20 million. I wanted to find out the details on this historic transaction and provide some background, so let's get into it. First and foremost, this is the first example of any government in the United States giving back land to a black family after acknowledging that it had been stolen. In April of 2021, the LA County Board of Supervisors voted to return the land, which was currently being used as a park with 1 lifeguard station, to the Bruce family descendants. This move was hailed by some as a potential turning point in a nation with a long history of confiscating land from racial minorities. It's important to know the background here. In 1912, Willa and Charles Bruce bought the property with plans on establishing a resort, dining area, and bathhouse accessible to black people because segregation had severely restricted most beach access for blacks in the city. There was immediate backlash and vitriol from neighbors and adjacent property owners who were mostly white. The Bruces marched ahead, built the resort, made it into a beautiful property that was utilized by black people throughout the area. The patrons of the beach, as well as the Bruces, underwent continuous harassment, including demonstrations by the Ku Klux Klan. Using eminent domain and under the pretense of building a park, the city of Manhattan Beach took control of the land from the Bruce family, and the buildings were razed in 1927, transferred to state control by 1948, without even building a park. In the 1960s, the city finally turned the land into a park, and in 1974 named that park Parque Culiacan, with nary a mention of the Bruce family. Finally, in 2006, there was a light on the horizon as Manhattan Beach's mayor, Mitch Ward, the city's first and only elected black official, decided to rename the park and acknowledge the history of racial discrimination, renaming it Bruce's Beach. In June of 2020, a Juneteenth commemoration was held at Bruce's Beach Park, and Kevon Ward, a Manhattan Beach resident, staged the attempt to draw attention to the seizure of the land and started pressuring the city council to create the Bruce's Beach Task Force, which eventually led to the reparations. Last July at a ceremony, the land was formally transferred to the heirs of the Bruce family, who would receive over $400,000 per year from the county for use of the land. So as per why the Bruce family is selling the land back to the county, there are multiple reasons. Number 1, none of the descendants live in Southern California, so it would be tough to maintain. Number 2, it's still a victory for the Bruce descendants who would no longer have the land that was confiscated, but instead have the money that they should have rightfully inherited. Number 3, the area is currently not permitted for development, and it would be a years-long fight to get that pushed through. Bruce's Beach is going back to LA County, but this time it's good news. All right, LA, it's been a minute.